Hello, everyone. This week I blogged about thinking about tradition. And I don't know if this acronym will come out when you say it, but TWADI, that's the way we have always done it. Many of us become victims of tradition, or this is the way we've always done it, or we've gotten results this way, so why change? And Albert Einstein said, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. If we want to change results, we need to change our thinking. And sometimes by changing our thinking, we have to take a critical lens to what we've always done and ask ourselves, yes, this might have been a great practice in the past, but does it really serve those who we work for? Does it serve our students, our teachers, our staff, our communities? So as we think about tradition and how tradition impacts culture, sometimes these traditional elements of school culture are celebrated for the mere reason of that's the way we've always done it. So as we think about our practice and we think about where we are and looking at the acronym, as I put in this Periscope TWADI, let's think about what we do. And that's the way we've always done it. Okay, grading. There's so much research out there to show that we shouldn't give kids zeros, that there should be a failure floor, and that there should be retakes and redos. There's also a lot of issues with how we average grades and whether that's a true reflection of what kids have learned. But when we look at our grading practices, for the most part, that's the way we've always done it. The same could be said about homework. Research has shown that homework has little to no academic benefit before grade 8. So why do we continue to assign homework? Because that's the way we've always done it. The key is to look at the research and think about not necessarily getting rid of homework, but how we can improve homework. Maybe making it meaningful. Maybe doing flip lessons where kids watch a short interactive video and then have that time to apply in the classroom. Maybe it's about that relevant context for kids to reflect on their learning. Manageable amount of time. Let's let kids be kids. So as we think about homework, we think about grading. Let's also look at observation and evaluation. A lot of times it's been a dog and pony show because that's the way we've always done it. We do announced observations. We come in and we tell each other how great things are. In reality, there is no perfection. There's no perfection in education. There's no perfect district, school, principal, superintendent, teacher. There's always room for growth and improvement. But if we keep doing observation and evaluation the way we've always done it, we're going to get the same results. And what we got to do is improve those results. As we think again about what we've done, let's look at hiring practices. The way we've always done it is, we might have our committees, or we might just bring someone in and do a demo lesson. Well, what about having students on that first committee of interviews? What about having kids give input on what they want to see and what they appreciate out of new teachers, new administrators, and other support staff? Let's think about internet filtering. That's the way we've always done it. I work with districts and schools all across the world, and I still see sites being blocked because that's the way it's always been done. What about prioritizing athletics over other events? Now, hey, I coached football, ice hockey, lacrosse. I played football in college. I love athletics. But we can't continue to embrace a mentality where, athletics is more important than the other aspects of learning. But we have to get past, again, that mentality of that's the way we've always done it. That's what we've always celebrated. It's tradition. As we think about classroom design, I still go and work in many, many schools. And as I go in, I still see, more often than not, desks in rows. And I ask myself, well, why? Well, the answer is, again, that's the way we've always done it. Our classrooms have been structured in a way that has remained relatively unchanged, even if we have brand new furniture. So as we think about all of these, even purchasing decisions, one of the things that I did as a principal to give more autonomy to my staff was to give them more control of the budget. The way it had always been done was, dictating, how much money there was and what it had to be spent on. Well, I tried to blow up that construct and gave the power to my teachers to really make better decisions for their kids. And then just one last aspect that falls into TWWADI, as I call it, is professional development. I feel professional development has often been something that's been done to us, not something that we ultimately want to do. But as we look at professional development, the way we've always done it, and I just say that in the context of education, is, one and done, and it's, again, we have our professional development days, which are a few spread out through the year, because that's what we've always been used to. Well, think about how we move away from that construct. Well, the research has shown has not been very effective in terms of improving outcomes. Think about going more towards job-embedded models, where it really is growth-centered, ongoing professional learning. And these, might sound like sound bites, but it really is a mindset. So, as I reflect on my role and evolution as a leader, I was the principal that really led the way I was originally led. And what I had to do was really take a critical lens and reflect on the decisions I made and what we were doing as a school in order to move forward. And it got to the point where, TWWADI was really just not beneficial to moving a culture forward. So as educators, or even your role, think about practice. Think about your classroom, your school, your district, your learning culture. Think about the things that have always been done. And again, don't get me wrong. If it's working in the betterment to benefit our kids, I'm not saying change it. I'm saying to look at those elements of culture that might not be working for the best interest of our kids. And think about how in your role, because leadership is about action, it's not about position, title, or power. Think about in your role how you can begin to overcome tradition and the mentality of, it's not broke, why fix it? Knowing that there's no perfection in our practice. And really think about those action steps that you will take to help persuade and empower others to see the value in trying not just something new, but using research as the foundation to really pave a path towards creating that better culture. So these are my thoughts this week. I'd love to hear yours. I will be posting this video on YouTube and Facebook. And let's just engage in a conversation. Where have we suffered because of the mentality of that's the way we've always done it? And how can we begin to change it? Thanks, everybody. Hopefully you'll take the time to reflect like I have. Enjoy the rest of the week and keep doing great things for kids.